Today we're gonna be making a Calabacitas casserole inspired in two traditional and very classic Mexican dishes, calabacitas and chile rellenos. This Mexican squash literally makes the most amazing casserole. We're gonna make a delicious salsa that's going to top this recipe. So just take a pound of tomatoes, cut them in half. I have a sheet pan lined with aluminum foil. I'm gonna give it a quick spray and place the tomatoes skin side up. 4 large unpeeled garlic cloves, half of a white onion, roughly slice it. We're gonna give this a quick spray as well. Now, I've preheated my oven to high broil. Transfer into the oven close enough to the top. That way it can get a nice char and soften. It's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes. We've got a large skillet over medium heat. Add about 3 tablespoons of oil. And once it's hot, fry 1 tortilla until crispy and golden on both sides. Set the tortilla aside because we're gonna use that for the salsa. Now I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Turn the heat to medium high. We've got a pretty good amount of oil in the skillet. Add the ground beef and press it into an even layer with a spatula or potato masher. Let it cook undisturbed until the underside is well browned. We are going to finely dice half of a white onion. Do the same thing with 2 jalapeños, and I am going to remove the seeds. It is optional. A good indicator that the meat has browned is you can smell it, but also you want to look at those edges, and they look beautifully browned. An instant boost of flavor. Break it apart. Reduce the heat to medium. We're gonna season this with a tablespoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of ground ancho chile, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground onion. Make sure it mixes well into the ground beef, which is gonna also allow us to lightly toast them for about a minute. We are ready for the onion and jalapeno, and this is gonna get cooked until the onion slightly softens. Time for 3 finely minced garlic cloves. Just cook it for another minute. To keep some moisture in our filling, I'm gonna add 1 cup of low sodium beef broth. Plus, it's gonna help deglaze that bottom. Also do 1 cup of mixed veggies. Allow it to cook down until the meat looks fully moistened, but not soupy. Lastly, season it with salt to taste. You're just gonna love this filling for sure, okay? It is done. And we're gonna set it aside until we need it. Calabacitas time. If anybody doesn't know what it is basically Mexican squash. These are actually 95% water, which is why we're gonna do a couple of tricks in order to get rid of some of that excess moisture in our dish. It's not going to be super watery. This is about 2.5 pounds. If I have a tip for you is, do not get really large ones because it's gonna be hard to slice them. So a medium size does really well. So we're gonna remove the ends. Using a mandolin or knife, carefully slice them lengthwise into about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Okay, so we're gonna place them on top of a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Lightly sprinkle with kosher salt. Do not go heavy on them, because remember, they are very thin. We do not want to oversalt them. Separate them with parchment paper. Keep arranging some more calabacitas. So the salt is essentially going to help draw out some of that water so that we can pat them dry. I'm only gonna salt 1 side. Set them aside for 10 to 15 minutes and allow the salt to do its thing. These are now gonna get pre-cooked, but before we do that, I'm going to pat them dry with a paper towel. This is also going to remove some of that salt. Give them a flip so we can do the other side. Give them a quick drizzle of oil. I've preheated my cast iron comal. You could also do a skillet. So add those calabacitas. Oil side down first. We're gonna cook them on both sides so that we can get this light browning. They part cook until just pliable. We don't want them mushy. Okay, make sure we target the other side. We're almost ready to assemble that casserole, but I've got 12 ounces of grated Oaxaca cheese, 8 ounces of grated medium cheddar cheese. Now I'm just gonna give them a quick mix so that everything is evenly distributed. Grease a 9x13 baking dish and line the bottom with the calabacitas. So that took half of the calabacitas. Now we're gonna do half of the beef filling, half of the cheese, Do a second layer with the remaining calabacitas, filling, and cheese. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For the egg batter, we're gonna do 6 room temperature whole eggs. Add everything into a blender, along with 1 cup of low sodium crema mexicana, 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. The crema also needs to be room temperature. Blend on medium-high speed until the mixture looks light, airy, and slightly fluffy, about 3 minutes. Every blender is different, so if needed, pause and take short breaks. Once it reaches the right consistency, transfer it into a large bowl. Sift in 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour to get rid of any lumps. 1 teaspoon of ground onion. 1/2 teaspoon of ground garlic. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And lastly, 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're gonna give it a good mix, making sure we do not overmix it. So just until combined. And just pour the batter right over that casserole. Level the top. You can lift some of the edges to allow the batter to sink into it. Transfer to the center of the oven and bake for 45 minutes to 1 hour or until the batter is fully cooked, puffed, set, golden on top, and the casserole is fully heated through. Time for the salsa. Back to those roasted ingredients. I'm gonna peel the garlic, then add everything into the blender. Remember that fried tortilla? Break it in there. Add in 3 chipotles and adobo with 2 tablespoons of the adobo sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of Mexican dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of white distilled vinegar, 1.5 cups of low sodium beef broth. Now blend this until it is completely smooth. I've got a saucepan over medium-low heat. Add about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of oil. Once it's hot, you can carefully pour in the salsa. Give it a light stir and allow this to reach a gentle simmer. Adjust the heat as necessary. If the top browns before the casserole is fully cooked, loosely tint it with foil to prevent over-browning while the center finishes baking. The sauce has been simmering for 5 minutes. Add salt to taste. I love the consistency. Fluid, but still with body. Just set this aside. It's gonna be nice and warm because the casserole is done as well. After baking, let the casserole rest for 5 to 10 minutes before serving. Then slice in. That first piece says it all. This dish brings 2 classics together in one beautiful casserole. It's not a quick recipe, but every step is worth it. Serve each piece with a generous spoonful of the warm salsa we prepared and a touch of crema mexicana on top. You can pair it with corn tortillas, beans, Mexican rice, a sprinkle of cilantro, or even a fresh salad like I'm doing. I'm honestly so satisfied with how this turned out. That tip about reducing the moisture from the calabacitas really paid off. Much less water left behind and the texture is so right. Truthfully, it's the kind of meal I start craving the moment I see a fresh Mexican calabacita. This, my friend, is such an amazing casserole.
Oh, I know.
Wow. I mean,
Wow.
This is another level. It does take a little bit of work. We're not gonna lie here, but it's a labor of love and it is so worth it.
Wow.
This is
My calabacita is so good.
delicious.
But honestly, adding that ground beef makes a big difference as well.
A ton of flavor.
A ton of flavor and the sauce on top.
Right? You actually get that corn flavor through. It is that good.
Wow, this is so good.
It truly pays honor to a Chile Relleno Casserole, but in calabacita style.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like, what does it taste like?
Chile Rellenos.
It's like a chile relleno. No, it's unbelievable. It's really good.
Remember that the full PRINTABLE recipe is on villacocina.com.
Yes, it is.
We will see you all on the next one. Bye.